How are you doing today? I am doing not so well today. Oh, couldn't sleep last night. I just couldn't sleep. I watched some movies. Can't even remember what I watched. Everyone was nice with you. Like, you're up all night and you're watching. What I watched? Did I watch a movie? Did I watch? I can't even remember. Do you ever have one of those nights where you just can't even remember yesterday? You can't even remember. You wake up in the morning and you just the night was just so long, and I mean, I had like pains going on, and it was just it was terrible. So I was up trying to walk around. You get like this pain. I don't know if it's like a restless leg syndrome type thing or whatever. You get pains in your legs or whatever, and you got to get up and you got to walk around and walk around and walk around. And you're walking around the house, and as you're walking around the house, you're like inspecting things. You know, you're like going upstairs, you're going downstairs, you're in the basement, you're in the bathroom looking at stuff that might need to be fixed. I mean, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. You're walking around looking for things to fix. I mean, because you can't seem to get in a relaxation state. So while I'm up all night, I'm like, okay, well, I want to make a video, and I want to think of a topic on the video. Since all my movies that I talk about, to me, are memories. Every single movie I have is a memory. I mean, I don't just buy a movie just to buy a movie. I mean, even the new releases, in order for me to get them, there's a memory behind them. You know what I mean? I have to go out and get them someplace, and I have to take the family with me. And I was told one time that my life is like an adventure every day. It's like a storybook. It's like it's constantly changing, and things are going on. It's funny, and things I don't think are funny, but sometimes they say it's funny. Everything has a story. Okay, so I'm up last night. I'm like, this is my thing. This is my thing. I know. I'm probably gonna go on, and I gotta calm down first. Okay, we had a moment of silence for a second there. Like, calm down a second. All right. Sometimes at night when I can't sleep, well, actually every night I can't sleep. I don't know. I think I'm like a vampire. I can't. I mean, some nights are worse than others, but I just can't sleep at night. I am up all night long. I worked third shift for like 20 years or so, and converting back to the real world and everything, I just cannot seem to get it together. I don't know what's going on, but I just pain and can't sleep, and then I'm up like taking different kinds of pills and everything. Like for headaches, I'm getting headaches behind my eyes. I'm getting pains in my legs, and so every night, what I do, this is my thing. This is my normal nightly routine. I hit the bed and I pray to God. That's my thing. I'm a very, very, very God believing guy, and I lay there. What I do is not just pray to God, but okay, that's what I'm looking for. I self-examine my life. I evaluate. That's what I'm looking for. I do an evaluation of my life. Okay, so I go back in time from as long as I can go back and think about every terrible thing that I did in my life, and I ask for forgiveness for it, because I figure by the time I die, I might be able to hit on every single thing, and he'll be like, "Yeah, okay, well, here's your ticket to paradise." 2 tickets to paradise. Eddie Money, 1980 something. Anyway, here's your ticket. Come right in. You've told me everything that's gone on, and you've asked for forgiveness on every single thing, and then I forgive you and everything. That's my big thing. Every night, and it goes on until I fall asleep. I mean, I literally lay there for hours, and believe me, there's hours of footage in my head of things that I've done just terrible to either people or myself, or just not good, So, I mean, I go back as far as when I was like 5 years old, 4 years old, or whatever, and I try to think of all the things that I did wrong, and I'm like, okay, well, I stole this, and I lied about that, and I did this, and I go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until I finally fall asleep. I've been doing this for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so, and not only does it help me fall asleep, but it kind of clears my conscience in a way, but then also sometimes it gives me a little bit of depression or anxiety, because I'm thinking about something that is just so messed up, that anyway. So as I'm laying there last night, I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick some movies to talk about today that bring back a total reflection and evaluation of my life. Every time you got to evaluate your life and go, where are we going? Where am I going with this? Where am I going with my life? how much more life do I have left? And am I making mistakes on what I'm doing? I mean, how do I change these mistakes? How do I make it better? I mean, I'm not a young kid anymore. I'm not 12 years old or 16 years old, just getting my car for the first time. It's bypassed that already. I'm getting older, and I need to evaluate my life and make some tweaks here and there so I can enjoy it. I mean, I see people all the time, especially older people, my age or whatever, and they got nice cars, they got nice houses, they're going on trips here and there and everywhere, and they're doing all kinds of things. I've never been on a trip. I've never been on a plane. I've never been on a boat. I've never done anything, nothing. And at this age, maybe I should take some chances. Now I'm afraid. I'm afraid to go on a plane. I mean, I watch a lot of plane movies. That they crash, and I have a hard time with that. I'm like I can't really fathom in my head something that weighs like tons and tons and tons. Being able to get off the ground and just take off. It would be like me jumping off my roof. I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna land right on the ground. There's no way. But these things, with a couple of fireworks up the butt, shooting out and sending them in, they go up in the air, and then you trust in these two pilots and stuff, and I don't know them. I don't know how long they've been piloting. I don't even know if I know my wife's been a couple of times, or more than a couple of times, on planes. But I mean, did they explain to you when you sit down? I mean, I know they get the passengers, please sit down. I watch it in the movies, but did they like, oh, I got 25 years experience and I haven't crashed one yet? Did they say that over the? Oh, that just bring people down. I don't know. I would like to know this guy's credentials. I mean, I go to my doctor, and on his wall, I went to this school, and I went to that school, and I graduated from this school, and that makes me feel a little better. This guy's done a little time in school. These pilots, I don't know how long they've been flying, so it kind of freaks me out a little bit. But I'm thinking about how old I'm getting. I'm getting older, and I've never been to Disney World. Do I want to go to Disney World? No, not really. But I've never been there, and I see a lot of people on YouTube that have been to Disney World, and that's like their dream place. You know what I mean? But sometimes I think, is it your dream place to go to Disney World because you're told that that's the most fantastic place on earth? I mean, my fantastic place is, to me right now, is being home. I love being home. I could literally be locked in this house for the rest. If there was a Survivor show or a Big Brother show type that, like let's see if this guy can stay in his house for 15, 20 years, I could do it. I could easily do it. Everything gets mailed to my house. The only thing I have to do is open up the door and get the mail. That's it. Okay? I have kids and a wife that can come bring me food. I know how to cook, so if they provide me with the food, I'll be able to cook it. This is my Disney World. This is my Epcot Center, my Universal Studios. This is my excitement in life. I absolutely love being home. Okay, I love being surrounded by all my toys and movies and things, and in my YouTube, and watching people. I literally watch people yard sale. Okay, that's like my thing. I love watching people yard sale and thrifting and shopping. That's like my main watching thing on YouTube. So I feel like I'm shopping too. I'm with them, and they're going through the shelves and everything, and I'm like, yeah. Why didn't you pick that up? I could use that. And I'm literally talking to the TV. Okay, I think when you become a YouTube personality or a person that does blogging and everything, vlogging, yes, video blogging. Okay. You just start talking to yourself. You start like saying things out in the open, and it's funny because like my wife will find me at the foot of the bed, and it'll be like 3:00 in the morning. I'm watching this guy like he's going through these thrift stores, and I'm like, hey, you're stupid. You just missed that doll over there. Hey, you just missed that toy over there. Hey, look, that DVD is worth a ton of money. Grab that thing, or that Blu-ray is worth a ton. What are you doing? And she's like, and I'm talking to the TV. I mean, that's kind of where I am in my life, but I evaluate my life every night, and I think about all of the real messed up things I did. And you know what? I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I'm probably one of the few people that actually look back at my life, and I'm actually sorry for some of the things that I did. I should be sorry for, I'm not sorry for all the things I did, because I know some of the things might have been hurtful to people, but sometimes people deserve the things that they get. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to give a little tough love. Sometimes you have to say things to people that they don't want to hear, only because you don't want them to make the same mistakes you made. I mean, I go through this with my kids all the time. They're like, you're way too honest with us. I shouldn't know that about you. Or, you tell me this. I tell you that because there's a reason why I went through these things, and I don't want you to go through them again like I did. And I'm trying to help you, but you're not going to listen anyway because we all have to learn, I guess, at a different level. We all have to learn by experience and my mistakes. And hey, I tell my kids all the time, you make a mistake, learn from your mistake. As long as you learn from your mistake, man, there's things that you are going to do. You're going to do. The thing that you're going to do. You're going to do things that are just wrong. You're going to do things that are just wrong. But if you know that they're wrong after you did them, don't do them again. Don't do the same thing again. That's stupidity. I don't want you to be stupid. You know what I mean? I want you to be smart. I mean, you know it's wrong. I told you a story about how when I did it younger, it was wrong. But know what they love to do? They love to say, well, you did it. Okay, I did it to explain to you not to do it so you wouldn't feel the same way that I do now. You know, you wouldn't be laying in bed at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, reevaluating your life, okay? But they don't listen. Kids don't listen. They're just like, I know better than you because I'm going through things and I'm smarter than you are. No, you may be smarter than me. You may be book smarter than me. I am not a book scholar. Books scare me. I did in high school. I read so many Cliff Notes, those little like partial stuff. I mean, I read Moby Dick. I read Tale of Two Cities. I read the Outsiders. But I read the Cliff Notes, the little yellow books. That's what I read, and I read a lot of them. I enjoyed those. It was like, okay. And then I can go up to the teacher like, wow, you read, that's a big book that you read there. That's amazing. I'm like, yeah, that's nothing or whatever. And I can tell you all the highlights and all the story. And then to top it all off, there's probably a movie. There's probably a movie of a book that I read, so I could pop in the movie, and you add the movie together with the Cliff Notes, and you pretty much got the book. I mean, I know some people say, well, Harry Potter, if you read the book, it's totally different than the movie. Well, I've never read the book, so I can't compare. I enjoy the movie, so I'll watch the movie again. And the book's really thick. It's a thick book. Pretty on the outside. I really like the cover art and everything. I'm a big art person, so I love the drawings and the pictures and everything of the Harry Potter books. But I'm not going to read that big book. I'm not. I've already watched. My big excitement with Harry Potter was that I have the Philosopher's Stone, which was the Sorcerer's Stone, and because I ordered it from like Germany or whatever, and they gave me the original one. So when you open the opening credits, it says the Philosopher's Stone, because I guess the original book was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and then they changed it to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So I got that version too. That's my excitement. I'm like, that's the closest I'm going to get to the realistic part of the book. Okay, but that's it. That's it. I'm going to leave it at that. I rambled on. I don't even. My mind is shot today because I don't even know what I said 5 minutes ago. Yep. No idea. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to talk about, I just grabbed 3 movies at random that bring back memories. These movies bring back not only memories, but evaluations of my life. Okay. Things that I did right, things that I did wrong, and they have stories behind them. So 3 movies with stories behind them. These were not recent pickups. These are something, well, actually one of them is. One of them is a recent pickup, and I was really excited to get it because that was super special. And the other 2 were just movies that I've seen so many times. There's a reason behind me watching them, and I'm going to share my stories with you as I tell you about the movie. Okay, first movie I'm going to grab is, which is appropriate, Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan. Why Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan? Now, if I have family members that are watching this, they will know. Or maybe they won't know because some of them forget. Some of them think I make things up. They're like, half of that stuff in your life isn't even true. It's all stuff that came up in your head. And I'm like, okay, well, how come 3 other people will remember it the same way I remember it, but you don't remember this? So who's actually right or wrong? But this movie was, okay, so Harbor Mall, Fall River, okay, Massachusetts, where I was born and raised, okay, Fall River, Massachusetts, lived most of my life in Fall River, Massachusetts. The Harbor Mall opened up a movie theater. I believe at the time it was called Cinema 6. It was called Cinema 6 because it had 6 movie theaters in the cinema, Okay, it was in the mall. Okay, so I remember very, very clearly, sunny, beautiful day. Okay, my father, we had one car. My father worked one street over, and he would take the car to work. So me and my mother could not take the car. So she couldn't take me anywhere. He took the car one street over, so she could not take me any further than we had to go. I mean, we literally had to. We went shopping. We'd walk to the market. A lot of walking back in the 80s, you know, and we would walk to the market, would carry our groceries back. You know, I'd be like the little guy walking down the street with like the one bottle of soda in my hand, dropping it like 10 times, and then we get home, we have a flat bottle of soda. That was me. I was that guy. And he would work one street over, and the car would be one street over. And my mother had a license. She could drive, but he did not want her to have the car. He wanted us to be stuck at home. So one street over, the car sat, and one street over in a house, we sat most of the time. Usually going through cushions or our jacket pockets or his jacket pockets, going through pockets and going through cushions, looking for spare change so we can buy a bottle of soda or we could go do something, okay? And I remember very clearly that this was the excitement in my life. It was like if we found 25 cents in the side of the couch, we were that much closer to getting a bottle of soda. Soda was like my candy back then. I don't think I ever asked for candy when I was a kid. It was like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was the way to go. I had to have my Coca-Cola. So anyway, so this movie's special because Cinema 6 opened up, and for some reason, my aunt was down, and I think it was my aunt. If I try back, I know my uncle was there, and my uncle's only 3 years, I believe, older than me. Okay, so we were kind of like best friends back then. You know, we were like inseparable, and he was only a few years older than me. I can't tell you exact dates. I can't tell you exact time. I'm terrible with dates and tell what time. But he was around my age. You know, maybe 3 years difference, 4 years difference, maybe. And we decided that my mother's like, okay, we're gonna go see a movie at the brand new Cinema 6 movie theater. We get there and the place was packed. I mean, it was the grand opening. You know what I mean? It's like this is the movie theater, and my aunt was the one that asked us to go, and so we're walking. We had to walk all the way there because the car is one street over. Because of course we can't take the car because the car has to be parked over one street over, so we can't go anywhere. But we snuck out that day, and we must have saved a lot of quarters in the cushions to be able to get the money to go see. But then again, it was $2.50 a ticket back in the day. So that wasn't really that much. So we didn't have to do a lot of cushion hunting. And my father was nice enough to give my mother a $5 a week allowance. So she was probably using her $5 a week allowance. It was only me and her, you know, and my cousins and my uncle. But, you know, she only had to pay for me and her. I'm not sure my grandmother went. That I can't remember. I can't remember if she was there. She may have been there because she used to like to go for walks. I can't see us not inviting her, especially if my aunt was down there. But we had to go see this movie, Greystoke Legend Tarzan. This movie is about Tarzan. Okay, it's the first movie I ever watched in a movie theater. I've watched movies in the drive-in prior, okay, but the drive-in was like the big thing. Movie theater came after, in the indoor movie theaters, and we went to go see this movie. And it was about, you know, plane crashes. Is it plane crash? I think it's a plane crash. I have not watched it since that time, and we're talking, I was probably 10 or so, you know, so we're talking years ago. But plane crash or boat crash, either one. Tarzan's on the island all by himself, gets found by these apes, and the apes take him in and they raise him as like a cub, you know what I mean? Is cub the right word for baby ape? Probably not. As a baby ape, okay? And they take care of him and they raise him, and there's this one really, really mean one, and I just remember the movie like so it was just awesome. You know, it was so awesome to see a movie in the movie theater. It just felt so good to be in that movie theater watching. I could have been watching, you know, rain falling on a car or whatever for 2 hours, and I would have been happy with it. the excitement of being there with my family and the excitement of seeing this movie for the first time, being in a movie theater. I don't think we got popcorn. I don't remember. But most of the time I would go to the movies, I never bought popcorn because that was the most expensive part of the movie. It cost you $2.50 to go in, and it cost you $5 for a tub of popcorn or $2 for a drink. And they were like, no, we're here to see the movie. We're not going to mess around with any of those drinks or popcorn. Most of the time, the biggest fun was seeing how much stuff we could smuggle in my arms or in my pants or in my jacket. You know, my grandmother would literally pop popcorn the day before, and she'd be like, hey, here's a little bag of your popcorn, and you'll put it in your pocket, and we're going to have popcorn in there. And then you wait for the lights to go down, and you're like, oh, yeah. And you're looking around. The worst part was that can of soda, okay? The can of soda was the worst part. The lights are down, and all of a sudden you're reaching over into your chair thing on the side, and you get that sound, and you can't make noise in the movie theater, but you're trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. You're like, you're like, and then you put it back in the thing, and you always feel like the ushers are watching you, and it's like a weird feeling. But in order for us to have a popcorn and drink, we'd have to bring the can of soda and and then you have your gummy bears and stuff up the arm over here, you know what I mean? It's but it was an experience. So anyway, Tarzan crashes, raised by apes, and there's one ape that's really, really hot on him. And you watch the movie, and there's no big secret about Tarzan. I mean, I'm sure if you know the Tarzan story, the ape he ends up getting found. They end up bringing him back to the city. They try to turn him into a regular hoity-toity type English lord, you know what I mean? But he's still pop monkey inside. Falls in love with this girl. Girl falls in love with him, but he's still got that ape thing going on inside. Well, for some reason, they end up bringing back one of the apes from the island that he was trapped on, and this ape ends up being his father. It was his father ape. I'm not going to ruin anything. This movie is definitely worth seeing. I am going to watch this with my children. I'm going to force them to watch this. I am going to say, sit down, watch this movie, only because it brings back such a cool memory of my first movie I ever saw in a movie theater. It was just exciting. You know, it was exciting to have that experience. And I don't think a lot of people appreciate that experience. I mean, bring yourself back to the first movie you ever saw. Think back to the first time you sat down in a movie theater. Can you even remember the first movie you saw in a movie theater? The smell of the popcorn. I mean, I know when I walk into the malls now and the movie theaters are open or whatever, you smell that popcorn. The popcorn's like the best thing. Even though I never got real popcorn from the movie theater, or very rarely did, it was like a real special time when I would. The smell of that popcorn. You cannot, what's the word I'm looking for? Take away. You cannot defer. You cannot put that smell with anything else. Okay, when you smell movie theater popcorn, you know there's about to be a movie. You know that there's a movie going on somewhere. So that's like a trigger. They're like, what? There's a movie and there's popcorn and I'm near a movie theater somewhere. They could blindfold you and bring you to a movie theater and just stand right there and be totally quiet, and you would know that you are in a movie theater because that smell is just amazing. I don't know what they do. I know it's popcorn. It's been sitting under a heat light all day, but the combination of salt and butter and nothing like it. I put in the top. If I had to do a video of top 10 smells of my life, movie theater popcorn would be at least in the top 10. Had to be in the top 10. Have to be. I can't. I mean, besides amusement parks, the roll-on ones there, the ones that come over and go overnight or whatever, those have a smell. Top 10, because movie theater popcorn, man, love the way it smells, and it's always perfect. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I never got any burnt pieces ever in my movie theater popcorn. I never got a piece where I was like, oh, this ain't a good piece of movie theater popcorn. I was excited to get it when I got it, and I ate it, and I loved it. So anyway, Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan. First movie I ever saw in a movie theater. So it brings back a lot of good memories. Family together, going to see a movie, walking to the mall to go see the movie because the car's parked street over. And my father did not want us to leave the house because they had to stay there. That was very important. for some reason, I don't know. And we got out that day and we went to go see Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan. So, great memory, great movie, but maybe it's not a great movie. Maybe it's not maybe just because it's such a great memory to me, because this was what triggered my whole movie collecting life, that in my head, I put this movie superior over a lot of other things, but great movie. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Got a chance to see it? See it. All right, next movie I am going to grab is The Burbs. This is The Burbs, starring Tom Hanks. Okay, Tom Hanks is in this. Corey Feldman is in this. A lot of other actors that you would... who's the other guy? Is it Rick Dukeman? Rick Dukeman. It is Rick Dukeman. I'm not going to look it up. Rick Dukeman. He also played the one of the bad guys in Little Monsters. Yes. He was a stand-up comedian who was really, really funny. He was in the movie Blank Check also. This is a great movie. I have watched this movie so many times. It's about this family that lives in the suburbs, and neighbors move in and they're making a ruckus at night, and he can't sleep, and he's up listening to this ruckus, and his mind's going because he thinks that these killing people, that they're killing people next door and burying them in their yards, and the family's like really crazy looking, and they keep coming out of the house every once in a while, and then they finally go over to go visit the family so that they can get this all out in the open because they feel like they're murdering people. It's a comedy, and this is classic. This is a classic movie. So, in my life, I have quoted so many scenes from this movie on like a daily basis. Like, I will say something like came with the frame. You know what I mean? If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But there's the family quotes these things, and Tom Hanks is awesome in this, and all the other supporting actors awesome. I mean, it's such a fun movie, and I recommend, if you are a father and you have a son or daughter that is over the age of, let's say, 10, because there's nothing like really language. No, this is a PG. Yeah, straight up PG. It's a PG movie. Okay, most Disney movies nowadays are PG movies. Like I said, the standards are all messed up. But this is a funny, enjoyable movie. It is good. It is good. And this one brings back memories because I actually was going out that day with a friend, and I went to go see this in the movie theater. This was at the time when once I hit 12 years old, my father was like, you can go to the movies whenever you want. So at 12 years old, I could walk to the movie theater by myself. 12 years old, I could stay after school and walk over to the movie theater after school. He did not care as long as I paid for it, which I figured out a way to pay for it because I would be hoarding my lunch money and grabbing people's lunch money that, you know, I went through this before in another video. But this was the time. This was the time. And me and my buddy, I had this friend of mine, and he loved to shoplift. He was a shoplifter, man. He would rob everything. He robbed so many things. It was ridiculous. He would rob himself. You know, there was a time we were at school, and this is one of my favorite stories because it was unbelievable. We're at school. Cops come in. They're like, "Oh, we need to see him," and then take him out of class. Come to find out, I guess he traded his father's home computer. And in the back of the day, we're talking, you know, 80s. So, home computers, as you might remember, are these, you know, big towers. There was no laptops back then. You had a big tower with a big monitor, and he had traded his father's computer for a Super Soaker. Okay, you remember what a Super Soaker is? It's one of those. They still sell them, but I don't know if they're called Super Soakers anymore. But they're these big guns that shoot pounds of water at you or whatever. But he traded his father's computer for a Super Soaker, and so he would not get caught. He took a chair from his house and he threw it out the window, shattered the window, threw it out the window, and then he called the cops and said that somebody robbed his house. He said his house was robbed, and then he went on his way. He went to school, and then the cops come and they're like, "We need to talk to you." And they yank him out of school, and come to find out, the cops, which was really smart, this was like straight out of CSI. They're like, well, whoever broke into this house actually broke out of the house, because there's no glass inside the house. All the glass is outside the window on the ground. So The person, there's no breaking and entering in the door, but somebody threw a chair out the window because all the glass is out the window. And then he broke down. He's like, he had to admit that, he traded his father's gun for his father's computer for a Super Soaker. And it was just, so all of this happened around the same time I saw this movie. I saw this movie the day before with him. The day after, they took him out of school, and that kind of reminds me of, I mean, there was so many times with this guy, and he was one of my best friends, but some of the stuff that he would do was just crazy, because this guy was like off the wall. I mean, it was, I found it funny because it wasn't happening to me. One time he traded me, there was these toys called Centurions, and I went over and I traded him some Centurions for his father's double barrel shotgun. Now picture this, I'm 12 years old. If you know what a double barrel shotgun looks like, I mean, I'm about this high, the shotgun's about, same height, you know what I mean? And I'm like, how am I going to get this home? Number one, you're little and you're kind of stupid, you're kind of like, oh yeah, this is a good trade. A Centurion for a double barrel shotgun. He's like, oh, just slide it down the leg of your pants. Okay, me not thinking, just being stupid kid as always, which is another story, I share with my kids. This is, don't play with guns, don't mess around with guns. I mean, this thing could have been loaded. I could be dead right now. I could have been an after school special with this kid. But I made the deal. I made the trade. It seemed like a good idea. Rambo 2 was out at the time. I was excited. I'm like, I'm going to get a double barrel shotgun, and go home and play with it. You know what I mean? I take the thing, I shove it down my pants leg, and I try to leave the house. 3 or 4 steps up the street, I realize I can't bend my leg. This is not a good deal anymore. I ain't going to make it home with this thing down my leg. I go back, trade back or whatever, and hey, thank God. I mean, there's some things where you're doing something and the brakes go on and you're like, wow, good thing I didn't get roped into that one, because guaranteed, just like what happened with the Super Soaker in the computer, cops would have been involved, and it would have been a terrible, terrible experience. But this movie triggers that memory, because I remember going through all that with him at his house, going to see this movie, and then I came home and my mother was ironing clothes or something, because her and my father were going to some kind of thing that had to do with his job or whatever, and she wasn't happy to be going, but she's ironing clothes in the living room. She had one of those big pull-out ironing boards, like back in the day, and she's ironing the clothes. And the funny thing is, because ironing board for some reason had a big iron burn mark right on it. It was like, she must have left the iron there one time and it burnt right through this supposedly fireproof iron board cover thing or whatever. I mean, I even had an iron mark on my bed. I don't know if I put the iron on the bed, but these are the things I kind of remember. But I remember it was, I like rub my hand over it to help go to sleep at night on the another story. Burbs. Great movie. Okay? Neighbors move in. They're out of their mind. Are they killers? Are they killing people? You'll find out. But you have to see the movie. Watch it with your kids. It's definitely a kids a 10 or up. I recommend it. There's nothing in here that they have not seen or heard before. The language is not bad. There's nothing I can really think of that stands out. And I've seen this movie so many times. I've seen it with my kids so many times. So I endorse it. Pick it up, see it. The Burbs, starring Tom Hanks, Corey Feldman, Rick Dukeman. Am I saying, is it? Oh, I hope it's Rick Dukeman, because I'm going to feel really bad. I really got stuck in my head that it is Rick Dukeman. It is Rick Dukeman. I'm right. Sometimes I got to second guess myself on these things because, age, your mind starts to go. This is a Shout Factory release, so this one has a ton of bonus features. So I don't even know if there's another version of this movie besides buying the Shout Factory version. And I've never seen this at a store. I mean, I ordered this from, I believe, the Scream Factory, Shout Factory website, and Shout Factory does an excellent job with their movies. The bonus features, the behind the scenes, audio commentaries, they have everything. They are just superior as far as movie companies that put out, physical media. Superior. All right, so Burbs. All right. This is a long one. This was a lot longer than what I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I'm going to make this one really quick. Last movie, one of my favorite movies of all time, Can't Buy Me Love. In another prior video, I told you that this was one of the movies that when it came out at the movie theater, I went, this is a record-breaking movie for me, okay? To me, I don't know if Guinness, I don't know how long they go back or what the situation is, but I saw this movie in the movie theater the day it dropped to the day it came out of the theater. Every single day. Monday, Tuesday, every single day. Sometimes I would go see it twice in a row. I would buy ticket for the 2 o'clock show and a ticket again for the 4 o'clock show, and I would just walk around the mall for a little bit and go see it again and again. I think my record for it within a day was like 3 times back to back to back. Okay, I came home at like 8 o'clock at night after watching, one of my absolute favorite movies. Biggest part of it was because of the girl in it. I'm 12 or so, 13. Major crush. This is the crushing time. This is the time. And I was that little fat, awkward kid that couldn't find nobody. You know what I mean? It's like, all my friends were cool and everything, and they're getting girlfriends now, but not me. I'm at the movie theater, my big, thick Coke bottle glasses on, and that were given, like, government specials, you know what I mean? Like, we got some kind of discount. I think at the time it was like $5 co-payment, and you could pick any glasses you want from this little box. You got a pick of 4, of these glasses, and you always knew the kids that had the special glasses. They always had like because we all had the same ones. They're all this plastic, brownish with a little splash of white see-through. They were just so attractive, and they thick, because I was blind as a bat, because I was supposed to get my glasses in 3rd grade, but my father decided that $5 co-payment was just way too much. It was just, let's wait a whole year. Let's wait for him to flunk out of 3rd grade because he can't see the board. Let's have a teacher on top of everything else where you're telling the teacher you can't see the board, and she's like, you're just kind of stupid. You can see the board. You're just dumb. That's the whole reason why you're failing right now, because it has nothing to do with the board. I can put you in the board, and you're still going to fail my class. There's no way you're going to pass this class because you're failing everything. Even stuff I put right in front of you, you can't see. I was blind, okay? I would sit for 6 hours in class with my finger on this one of the eyes and pushing my eye back so I could see. This was every Monday through Friday at school. I could not see. I was blind. And then finally, he gets me the glasses, and it's like, I remember he took me to the optometrist, and it was like, he didn't even stay in the room with me. It was like, okay, you're going to go in, and I go see the optometrist. And at the time, there was like, you only had like one optometrist in the city, when we had to go to this kind of shady part of the city to go see the optometrist. And then they got the real expensive glasses, but I mean, we're talking 80s glasses here, late 70s, early 80s, going to that kind of thing. And you got 4 to pick from, pick them. Here you go. Here they are. And it was so weird because I know nowadays you get the metal glasses and they adjust them for you right there. If you go to like a Target or a Walmart, they're like, oh, well, let me help adjust your glasses. In order to adjust my glasses, this guy had to heat up a torch and put the corner of the glasses on the thing and bend the glasses, and then literally the glasses went from like this with a little curvature, talking about around the ear, and went like this, little curvature. By the time he was done, it was like this. It was like a complete, like, almost, it was crazy, and I would. Anyway, there was no chance I was getting a girl. All I could do was go to the movies. So I went to this movie. I've seen it so many times. This is a great, great movie. It's about this geek, which was cool because I can relate to all this stuff. It's about this geek that can't possibly get a girl in a million years. Then she ends up having somebody spill some wine on her dress, and it's not even her dress. It's her mother's dress that she took without asking permission for, because the mother said, no, don't take that dress. And she accidentally wine gets spilt on it. She's begging and praying for this guy at the store to give her a discount on the dress or trade in the dress. He's like, no, I'm not trading in because it's marinated in Ripple. I could quote this movie from beginning to end. So he's got $1,000 he was saving for a telescope. He was saving. He cuts grass for that's like his after school job. He's been cutting hundreds and hundreds of lawns. He's got it all figured out in his head, this many lawns, and I'm gonna be able to buy my telescope. And then he sees the girl of his dreams in a pinch, and he jumps on the thing. He's like, I'll give you $1,000 to make believe that you like me for 1 month. For 1 month, me and you are gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend, and that's gonna make me popular. That's like the whole tagline to the thing. $1,000, and that's gonna make me popular. So she ends up dating this guy, and it totally transforms him. But he goes from being this nice geeky guy to this kind of jerk, you know, because he's getting this new confidence and he's getting this new reputation and so then she starts falling for him, but he's becoming a jerk and he's like he can't understand, you know, now he's getting other girls and but then come to find out, you know, it's really they were meant to be together. It's one of those at the end of the movie, like, you know, like a breath of, like this is a classic. Great movie. I mean, if you are a tween or a teen, it still holds up. I'm telling you, you will watch this movie with your family, your kids, and they will love this movie. This is such a classic movie. And I saw this movie so within the years of my life since I've been around, okay? I have to say, there's a horror movie called Silver Bullet. This movie, License to Drive. I mean, there's other ones, but I have watched this movie hundreds, and I mean, I would like to say 1,000 times, and throughout the years, I mean, this came out, it's one of those things where I look at the date, and I'm not going to be able to get the date. No, I'm not going to go through that looking thing. I'm going to put the date up there. I'm going to figure it out, and the date's going to be somewhere up here, over there. It's going to be up there. I have seen this movie probably almost 1,000 times. I mean, I'm talking, I have watched it, I don't know how many times in the movie theater. It was probably close to, I would say, maybe 50, 60 times in the movie theater. And then, once it came out on VHS, another ton of times. And then DVD, a ton of times. Unfortunately, somebody has dropped the ball because this should have been released on Blu-ray by now. 4K something. Somebody needs to pick this up. Okay, I would love for Shout Factory to pick this up and do like a whole workover on this thing. But there are other companies that I can think of, you know, grabbing this thing and making it their own. Kino Labra. Hope I say it right. I never say it right. They could probably do it, but it wouldn't be as amazing as a Shout Factory or Scream Factory because the extra stuff, the bonus footage and stuff like that. I mean, it stars Patrick Dempsey, which was McDreamy there from Grey's Anatomy, and the other girl, she didn't really do much after this. I think she kind of quit acting. She's not alive anymore. She passed away. I was just infatuated with this girl and this character and the way she was and the way she talked and the way she walked and I went there to go see her, and it's almost like it gave a guy like me hope. This was my hope movie. Like if this guy, and the funny thing is the quarters in the couch and the change in the pocket was never gonna get me $1,000. And at the time, I did have a crush on a girl that was kind of like this, like out of my league. She was like the cheerleader. She was like the popular girl and everything like that. And I remember just being heartbroken because I was like, there's no way I'm getting this girl. And like other guys were getting, my best friends were getting her. And it's like one of these things where you're like, it's even worse when your best friend is getting the girl that you have like a major crush on when you're like 12 years old. And it's just heartbreaking. You know what I mean? You're just like this geek, you know what I mean, with the thick bottle glasses and you're wearing these Bill Cosby sweaters that your mommy dressed you in, and there was no hope. I mean, I think I got a haircut like maybe once every 4 months, so my hair's like. There's pictures of me from this era, and I would beat me up. Okay, it was bad. You know, if I went back and I saw me like this back in the day, I would be like, I'd make fun of me. That's how bad it was. But this movie brings back a lot of great memories because this was what I wanted to be. You know, some movies you get right into the characters. You know what I mean? You can picture yourself as the character. And I wish that I could be this guy. You know, I wish I could have been that geek that turned from geek to totally chic. You know what I mean? It's like he turned from geek to the cool guy, the big man on campus, the cool dude, you know what I mean? And all the girls loved him. You know what I mean? It's like this would have been my dream life role, okay, if that's even a thing, you know what I mean? But Can't Buy Me Love, starring Patrick Dempsey, and they didn't put the girl's name on the top, and I am going to look right now and see if I can find it. Okay, Amanda Peterson, okay? This was like my first movie crush, okay? And the movie is a classic. It's something that you should watch with your tween or your daughters or even your son. You know, just I've seen this with every single one of my kids. I've seen it with my wife. It's a great movie. Oh, But we need a Blu-ray release. I need to upgrade it. I'm still watching DVD quality, which I'm fine with DVD quality if that's all they have. I saw this movie the other day at Walmart. They have it at Walmart right now. $5. $5. It was, well, actually, I don't know if it's still $5 because it was during the Valentine's Day end cap time, and they always put that special end cap of movies that you know, get you in the mood. Like I always go to the end cap of Walmart to remember what time of year it is. You know, oh look, there's all the religious films. It must be close to Easter. Oh look, you know, there's all the. It must be close to Christmas. There's the Christmas movies. Oh look, there's all the Halloween. It must be close to this. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. There's Can't Buy Me Love, Dirty Dancing. You know, they're all right there, but didn't get a Blu-ray release. So companies out there, if you're watching this, give this thing a Blu-ray release. It deserves it. It's a classic. It's an awesome movie. I mean, it's just, it's part of my life, okay? And I like to have my life upgraded. You know, like I said, I'm evaluating my life. And this part of my life, I'm evaluating, and I want to upgrade. I deserve better. That's what I feel. I feel like life is too short, and it's time that I deserve better. Okay, I deserve to have a good life. I deserve to be able to save money. But it's all choices that I have to make. This is the things that I try to teach my kids. You make good choices and things happen for you. You make bad choices and things happen for you too, but not good things. You know what I mean? And I don't want them to be at this point of my life and them looking back at their lives and be like, I wish I could have, I should have. I think Gene Simmons said it from Kiss. Okay, he said, if you look back at your life and you go, I wish I could, I should have, but I didn't, you know, that's not the way to go. It should be like, I did everything, I accomplished everything, and I'm ready to go. I'm not ready to go yet. I got things to accomplish. I got places to go and things to do and people to see. I need to finish this strong. It's like running a race. You want to finish strong. You want to leave a legacy. You want to leave something in it. Hopefully these videos will be somewhat my legacy. My kids keep telling me, you know, you're recording these things and they're going on YouTube. So, you know, they say that when someone that you love dies, you can't remember their voice. I tried this before. I tried to think about it, and I don't really believe it because I can actually picture my grandmother's voice. I can actually picture people that have passed their voices. But this is a thing, you know, and they're like, well, you know, we can see you anytime that we want. We could just put on YouTube, and there you are, telling us a story or teaching us something or teaching our kids something or teaching our grandkids something. I think it's kind of cool. So if I could use this as an outlet to let out my stories and review movies and keep your interest for 20, 30 minutes or whatever, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I plan on posting these things as much as I possibly can. This is going to be my thing from now. It's hopefully a daily thing. You know, there's going to be days when I just can't do it, when I can't get the quiet, whatever. But luckily today, you know, things happen and people had to go and they'll be back. And I'm shooting something out really quick. So please subscribe. My mouth hung open too long like that. Am I going to edit? No. I did that because I didn't know I was going to say that. Hit the subscribe button. Share it. The more shares, the more likes, the more subscribes I get, the better it will be. It's important. I just feel like this is if I was watching me, I would enjoy it. I mean, there's pleasure and pain, and I'm a pain. I've been through a lot of pain. But sometimes it's funny. So hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you later.